Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you Dave and Jack's guide to Euro 2020 and everything else you need to know from the knockout stages right through to the final. Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
Keeping well, David. Keeping well. It's a nice New York morning, and I'm looking forward to what people are going to say in the comments later, of how I did, with those original predictions. There's probably going to be a little bit of egg on my face, David, and, it's just going to, and we're probably going to look at the knockout predictor after that, maybe redeem myself. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast, so it is. For sure, look, let's welcome a couple of people in. We have Ian Hurst. He says, I want England to win on Tuesday, but I've got a funny feeling they will bottle it. Yeah, look, you're playing against the Germans.
Come home, Ian, don't worry.
There's a lot of hatred there, a lot of history there. It's going to be an absolute cracker. It's going to be a cracker. Jack, what do you think on England, Germany? I know you have a soft spot for Germany. You spent time over there.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for Demanshot, but David, like I said, I've already seen England. I've already seen them win it, David. I've already seen, they practically were playing with the trophy in the pool the other day, David. They got it a little wet, and they actually got in a bit of trouble because, UEFA was telling them, you're not allowed to play with the pool, near water, you're not allowed to play with the trophy near there. So David, to be honest, rest easy, Ian. That's all I've got to say, Ian. Rest easy. It's already come home. They already sent the stencil into, the welder. It's already coming home. It's already coming home.
And Jack, come here, just quickly. What do you make of the whole thing of Mason Mount, Ben Chilwell, and Billy Gilmore? Apparently, they were speaking for like 20 minutes, half an hour in the tunnel afterwards and everything else. Now, like when you're with your countries, just separate. It's a rivalry, You don't need to sit there and compare blow dryers and whatever else they were doing. You know what I mean? It's shocking, really. Really, isn't it?
No, David, I mean, more and more, it's actually, I'm agreeing with Roy Keane, and it's actually quite shocking that I find myself doing that because I think he said something like, he said, I rarely spoke to someone else from another country, after a game. And then he says, like, I barely speak to anyone over 5 minutes, anyways. And so it was just the idea of them having some like 20-minute, little, chit chat. Probably, as we know, Dave, it's all about the hair products. It's about, like,
what number do you put your hair dryer on?
Kills, and things like that. It's about like when they're gonna go live on Twitch. Which one to, they're almost, Instagram living together, making TikToks together. David, we know how it is. And
Billy Gilmore, Ben Chilwell, and Mason Mount doing a TikTok dance.
I'm a young one, David, but I'm more and more, I'm agreeing with Roy Keane, and that's a scary thing, and that's maybe just because these guys are shocking me. They're shocking me.
They are. Tony Introvert says Forza Italia. City spending big. Let spending spree commence. Hoiberg the General, big yourself up. Of course, make sure you do smash that like on the stream, subscribe on the channel if you're new, and 100%. Tony Introvert says Jack's eating the big apple. He's destroying it at the minute. Jason Jennings, England call. England will get all Spursy. I hope so. That's the plan. That's what I predicted. Big up Hoiberg the General. I'm your favorite YouTuber. I appreciate that, my man. What an absolute legend. You're too kind. City bid for Grealish. Yeah, I know. It's sickening. I'm Wayne Bonner with the super chat. Big yourself up, man. Really do appreciate the donation. And he says, hey, David, hey, Jack. Hope you're both well, Wayne. We're all good, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Sitting down, relaxing after a hard day's work. Sitting down with a nice cold bottle of beer, my man. Nice cold bottle of beer. Yeah. Look, Jack, we'll crack into it.
Yeah, I'll let Wayne know, it's Wayne, strongly encourage, because with this one, we're going to be looking at, how I fared with those original predictions. And I know you really enjoyed that one, Wayne. And now, Wayne, you can practically, however you choose to like it, you can praise me, maybe, shame me a little bit because, I got a lot of these wrong, Wayne. So, Wayne, I just want to big you up, though, for the last show that we did on this. And I really appreciate all the support. So maybe you might look at this and see how I fared. And I don't think I fared as well. But we're going through my group predictions from original to my actual ones, and we're going to do the reactions now. So group
Go back to that front page. Go back to that picture for a minute. I love it. It's absolutely brilliant, man. That's quality, man.
Just whipped it up together nice and quick, David. Just took you from the YouTube image. And
the Eiffel Tower in there and everything, man.
David's doing a nice Sacre Bleu little tour through, Lay Keep, understanding, probably going through, part of the Bon Veus, checking it out, David, checking it out, the French football. I love it. But looking up Group A here, David, that my predicted is on the left. and it's always going to be on the left here. And then this is the actual, and then obviously the stuff that's in the parentheses there or in the parentheticals are the actual points that they got. Italy, I predicted to get first. I think originally even predicted them to go to the semifinals, if not the final. I said at least the semifinals, and I still believe that. I probably would go as far now and say that they're, heavy favorites, maybe with how great they performed. Turkey, God, I'm probably the biggest letdown, probably, everybody's favorite dark horse, David. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, I had them going second, and they finished with 0 points. One of the only teams to finish 0 points, David.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Look, I did predict 3 teams to get out of this group. I did predict Italy, Wales, and Turkey. Very surprised with Turkey, to be honest with you. Look, they had a lot of promise coming into the competition. They were playing well, playing good. A lot of people's dark horses, but just never turned up. Never looked like got going. I think maybe the occasion maybe overawed them. Very surprised with Switzerland. Look, we've played them a couple of times. They're a decent team. You know what I mean? Better than what we are, but I'm very surprised. I didn't think they'd compete in this group at all, and they have. And they've got out third. Brilliant, fair play to them. Wales, unbelievable campaign for them so far. Look, they were unlucky against Italy. Probably could have got a result. Very unlucky. But they've done the job against Switzerland. They've done the job against Turkey and got what they needed to get out and finish second. So I have to say, big up to Wales. Gareth Bale, Joe Rodon, Mr. Anonymous. You know what I mean? All Spurs players playing for them, and Joe Rodon's having an excellent campaign along with Gareth Bale, and Ben Davies is having a decent enough campaign, which surprises me. But fair play, look, the only team we expected to get out there was Turkey instead of Switzerland. So, 2 out of 3 is not bad. And Jack,
but I really underestimated the Welsh there, though, David. I really did underestimate the Welsh, and so maybe next time, David. I kind of think about it a bit differently. Maybe just got to realize they have a bit more unity. Maybe they have better coaching there. But to be honest, I even thought with all the stuff that's going on with the background, David, I even thought that might affect them. But I guess not. With
the Welsh, though, Jack, they have a club mentality. They've brought a club mentality. They're all together. They all have a great time, and they all fight for each other. You can't underestimate that. And I thought they would get out the group. It's here on out how they go. Anything beyond the next round, I think, is going to be a surprise for Wales. They do have Denmark. That could be tricky tie. Could go either way, but even if they beat Denmark, I expect them to go out in the next round. I don't expect them to win it, but I'm happy they've got out of the groups. Wayne Bonner with the super chat. I'm in the pub, so I'm definitely relaxing. Who are your dark horses for the last 16 and beyond? Look, Wayne, mine's going to be Denmark.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Mine's going to be Denmark. They have that togetherness right now. Højbjerg, the general, the Viking, he's leading the charge. And the whole thing with Christian Eriksen, I just think that could give them that little something extra. So Denmark are going to be mine. And look, Wayne, let us know your choice of poison in the pub, my man. Jack, who's your dark horses?
Yeah, David, it has to be Denmark or the Czech Republic, just because with Denmark, I think they're facing Wales. We might back them, to beat Wales. And then after that, I think they're facing either the Czech Republic or the Netherlands. And who knows, Netherlands, I think, they kind of put egg on my face, definitely performed a lot better than I thought they would, David. But I'm still doubting them. I'm still going to stick by it. I'm still going to think at one point they're just going to slip up real bad.
I think they'll come unstuck, yeah.
Yeah, and so there's possible that you could say then it might be like Denmark or Czech Republic in the semis, and that would just be unbelievable. Unbelievable that it would turn out that way. So, yeah, David, I'm completely behind that shout. Great shout. Denmark for me as well, Wayne.
Big up, Wayne. I really do appreciate it. Tony Introvert. I'm waiting on, as a Liverpool fan, on what repercussions deals are going to affect transfers 100%. No bother, Killian. Anytime, my man. You always get a shout out here, lad. And are England cheating cheating on home games? Yeah. Look, you could say there's something to it. Wayne Bonner, and again, with the super chat, big up Wayne. He says, I have Welsh blood, but I fancy Denmark. Look, this is the thing, Wayne. This one, it's a 50-50. Honestly, it's a 50-50. Whoever wants it more in the day is going to take it, my man. And look, I wouldn't begrudge Wales going through. I like Wales. I like Denmark. Denmark have grown on me, even though they humbled us before. Humbled Ireland before. I kind of forgive them now. And look, I'm happy with either team to go through. Look, I would like to see Wales go through. I would, just especially for you, my man. Especially for you. But look, it's going to be a cracker of a game, man. It's going to be a cracker of a game. And Wayne Lloyd says, Hi Irish, how are you? Still can't find Ireland in the round of 16, lot. Wayne, look, I'm all good, but like I said, we're there in spirit, man. No Euros takes part without the Irish being there in some sort of capacity, whether it's spirit or whether we're there. Look, it's no competition without the Irish anyway. That's why it's boring. You know, you don't have Irish people leather changing car tires and being good to the people, you know, rather than them, throwing bar stools and ripping up local cafes and everything else, You know what I'm talking about, Wayne. Wayne Lloyd, you know what I'm talking about.
It only takes one drunk Irishman to fix a light bulb. It only takes one drunk Irishman to fix a light bulb instead of, maybe it might take a whole English party. It might take a whole lot, to do it. So, yeah, I think that's all David is trying to say, I think. But listen, going to Group B here, have my predicted, like I said, on the left here, have my actual on the right. With Belgium, I predicted them to get all 9 points. And with Denmark, I kind of thought Denmark would get 6 points, to be honest. I really thought they would probably, suffer to the Belgians and, not really worry about it and get 6 straight points. But they were able to make this miraculous recovery. Obviously, we know probably the whole story, so we don't have to dive too much into it because we will dive into it later when they do the knockout predictor. Excuse me. And then, to be honest, Finland, I will say credit to them. I think they really actually surprised me. I thought they would be one of the worst teams in the tournament. I really didn't see anything for them, but they actually had some pretty great football at certain points. Like I thought Glenn Kamara actually was very silky at plenty of moments. I thought he was very intelligent on the ball. Pojan Paulo, I thought actually seemed to actually be a huge threat in the air alongside Timo Pukki, who was good getting in behind. So to be honest, I really underestimated that team. And I kind of maybe was backing the Russians to maybe be a bit better. And the Russians, I feel like they had their moments. They had their moments of good football. I think they had some good players on the pitch. Like I think Juba or Daizuba, I think he's actually very quality in moments. Golovin is very quality in plenty of moments. And I just feel like maybe it's just the coaching or something that let them down, because I feel like most of the time they really were lacking. And I think Finland really were maybe the surprise performer of this group. You can maybe say, David.
Yeah, look, with Finland, look, they were better than what I expected. I'll give them that. Look, the only reason why they were in with a chance going into the last game is because the game against Denmark was called off because of what happened to Christian Eriksen. They came back, played it out later. But then, look, the Danish players were affected, everything else, you know what I mean? But before that happened, they were all over Finland. Look, Finland got the result on the day. Fair play to them. They gave themselves a chance. But, look, I'm surprised. Is 3 points enough for them to get out? I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether they will get out. Are they out?
Let me take a look, David.
I don't know. I don't think they are. I think them and Ukraine miss out.
I don't think. No, Ukraine made it, David. I don't think Finland made it. Yeah, Ukraine are.
Yeah, so Finland missed out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Look, they were unlucky. Russia, I'm very surprised at. I thought they'd probably have a chance of getting out, especially maybe nicking a third place spot. I was thinking maybe they could get 4 points. I'm over the moon for Denmark. I'm so happy for them.
Unbelievable.
And Wales in the next round going to be a brilliant tie to watch. And Belgium, look, we expected Belgium to walk this group and get out, so no surprises there with Belgium. But Belgium and Denmark, the two teams that we did pick out to come first and second.
Yeah.
So we got that right.
Thank God, in a way. I mean, really. I mean, David, maybe apart from the horrible incident with Eriksen, I would still say this was probably the most exciting group. You might say this probably had all the action. Some of the best
on
games.
The last day it was certainly exciting, Jack. The last day it was very, very exciting. So it was, I have to say.
Yeah.
Finland holding Belgium, looking like maybe they could get the point and get out. Their keeper done everything he could possible, and then Denmark absolutely smashing Russia alive.
Right.
As well, to get out of the group and get out second. Unbelievable turn of events. What a group we had.
Absolutely. Moving on to Group C here, David, with my predicted, like I said, on the left there and the actual on the right. With my predicted, this was kind of the one, David, where I wanted to be a little cheeky, wanted to maybe look a little smart, maybe jack the stat, coming out a little too much, and maybe, not really backing the Dutch, backing the Netherlands. And so I went for a cheeky kind of Austria first place. I kind of thought Austria were going to grab kind of 9 points, 7 points, something like that, be real professionals about it. And I feel like Austria, they had their moments of brilliance. But they also had their moments where they really also seemed to not be very well organized side, or they didn't know maybe what their best, formation was, or maybe what their best 11 was, even, you could say. So, a bit strange there, but I think they kind of recovered a lot. The Ukrainians, I really backed, to do maybe a bit better. Same with the Ukrainians, but maybe a bit more. The Ukrainians had their real moments of quality. They look really good and plenty of moments, but as well, they also looked really poor defensively. I think they really can get caught out when the game becomes a bit more back and forth. They seem to also even be a bit more out of shape, even the Ukrainians, I would say, and they wouldn't be able to keep up with certain teams. But maybe technically, that's where they actually look, pretty solid. Where the likes of Yarmolenko, Yaremchuk, who else? Zinchenko, Malinovsky, Yaremchuk, Marlos. I believe they even had that Mikolenko guy on the left who was pretty decent as well. So they have plenty of Stepanenko, plenty of players that are very technical, but it seemed like pace-wise and just like when the game comes a bit back and forth, they just couldn't match it. So I think against the Swedes, it will be a little interesting because the Sweden team might play that kind of way, might play a bit counterattacking. So you might see them struggle, but who knows? But yeah, the Ukrainians I expected to do a little bit better. And maybe they just got through by the skin of their teeth, maybe just on goal difference, it seemed like. But the Dutch, absolutely brilliant, David. I thought they really dominated this group and actually flexed their muscles.
Yeah, look, Netherlands, look, they probably made it look a bit easier than what I thought they would have. They're hit and miss, this Dutch team. Look, they may get through the next round and the knockouts, but after that, I just think come when the Netherlands face the better teams, they will be exposed. Defensively. That's my opinion on it. Austria, bit surprised, they've been a bit better than what I thought they would, but again, they've had some disastrous moments. Ukraine, their football is good on the ball, but off the ball, it's a massive problem. Like they look shattered there the last game. Like throw everything at it, and they couldn't even get a shot. They were shocking, absolutely shocking. I don't know whether he's overtrained them, whether they're just not fit enough. I'm not sure. But it's shocking. It's shocking. And they will be knocked out next round. They will be.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in Shevchenko. I figure, he would kind of leave the politics and the modeling, to the side, David, before the tournament, focus on the football. But he seems to be trying to do everything all at once. And so, maybe the players are just a little fed up, or maybe he's overtrained them or something. Maybe he's just let them running on the treadmill a little too long.
Yeah. Well, that's what it seems like, Jack. And look, Macedonia, they went there to make up the numbers just like we thought.
The Macedonians, though, as well, I mean, it's kind of maybe even the story of this group where I feel like all the teams that finished below the Dutch, they all had their moments where they actually look very dangerous. They look pretty good, considering Macedonians hit the post plenty of times. They seem to hit the woodwork a lot. They had their moments. They really had their moments, especially Goran Pandev. Like I said, the eternal Goran seemed to actually prove it. He seemed to prove again that, he's always going to be quality. And then Elif Elmas, kind of like the hipster player of Napoli that never plays, also looked pretty good as well. Ristovsky that was the guy that seems to hit the post every time. But yeah, Macedonia, maybe unlucky to only get 0 points, I would say, to get no points at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. I would say, this is the group that, everybody pays attention to, David. This is the group that matters. The only one that matters at the end of the day, David. Because this is the group where from here it's coming home.
Give them trophy. Give it to them. They've won it.
David, I had them predicted, obviously, because David, right from the beginning, the moment I smelt the air, once the Atlantic Ocean brought over that air of it's coming home, I smelled it over here in the New York morning, and then I immediately was overcome by it, and I knew it was coming home as well, David. So I had England #1 on the left there at my predicted, and I do feel very satisfied with that. I did have Croatia as well. Maybe they kind of got through by the skin of their teeth to get that second place position. Feel a little lucky there, David. I feel like Czech Republic maybe deserved it. But then Czech Republic I had in the third place position. They were kind of our kind of dark horse, maybe a bit of the better dark horse that maybe proved themselves more than the likes of maybe the Turks, you could say. And then with Scotland, I did have them finishing fourth, but I think the Scottish can hold their head high, to be honest. I think they performed pretty well, and I think they had their moments of brilliance in every game. They just were honestly met with a very, very, very tough group, you could say.
Yeah, look, with England, after the Croatia game, Czech Republic, Scotland, there was only friendlies. We know that. But look, you know, they were getting measured for suits and like, you know, the latest thing I sent you, Jack. Remember I sent it to you about them dyeing their hair blonde. They're already talking about dyeing their hair blonde if they win it. So they're already talking about winning it. You know, it's already home. Look, with England, I did expect them to get out. I didn't think it was going to be an easy ride like they thought it was, and it wasn't. You know, I called Scotland getting a result off them. I told you it was going to happen way before we done yours predictions. Even I said it on that, but way before that I said, you know, Scotland will get something off England. It's their cup final. They did. England against Czech Republic. Look, they're poor. They weren't great, you know. England weren't great, you know. And this is the thing. The two holding midfielders are catching them out. I've explained this before. They're constantly receiving the ball with their back to goal, which means they're not opening their eyes. You know, they're not opening their body, which means they don't get the vision of the pitch, and which means it's very slow ball coming to Harry Kane, and that's why they can't get him involved. Croatia. Now, I've been very disappointed with these. Very, very disappointed. But it wouldn't surprise me if they turned it on in the knockout stages. It really wouldn't. Look, they were poor against England. Very, very poor against England, I may add. You know, poor against the Czech Republic. And look, they got the point off Czech Republic at the end of the day, but they weren't great against them. And look, against Scotland, then, you know, they just ran. The Scots, once the first goal went in, you know, the Scots kind of were deflated, and it was there from then out. But look, Scotland can definitely hold their heads up high. Even their opening game against Czech Republic, they were unlucky not to win it. Hit the crossbar a few times. But look, yeah, it is what it is. I predict the Czech Republic to get out of this group. These were one of my dark horses. Czech Republic, and they're not looking too shabby. You know, they can play some nice stuff.
Well done,
England,
David.
Croatia, Czech Republic. It's more or less what we expected.
Yeah, no, I think this is one that we definitely teamed up together. I feel like on this one, David, apart from me maybe sneaking in, you know, the England, you know, for first place, because, you know, even though I was, you know, completely overcome by the, you know, it's coming home, you know, kind of stench that had come over here. But at the same time, you know, we were kind of thinking it was going to be a little bit tougher for them, and maybe it just proved. I think we got this one, David. I would give ourselves an A+ here. I would give ourselves, you know, 100%. You know, I think we just saw it from the beginning, David. I do think we had this group completely down to the wire. But with Group B here, this was one that, you know, David, honestly, this is the one I got maybe completely wrong. Absolutely.
Just quickly, I'll interrupt you there, Jacko. Wayne Bonner with a super chat. He says, we may turn up and attack against Germany. On this one, I do think Gareth Southgate is clever enough, knowing that they would get out of the group, to play a pragmatic way and completely U-turn it, you know, going into the last 16 and so on and so forth. Because, you know, I think it's been the same with France, Portugal, you know, other teams like that. They do enough to get out of the groups, and then all of a sudden, you know, they turn it on. Then come the knockout stages, because that's where all the big time boys make their names. That's what they live for, and that's when they usually turn it on. The group stages is just a formality. You know, you get one win, one draw, one loss, you're out of the groups. So when it very well could be the case, if England do lose to Germany, it's because Mr. FA Brown knows Southgate, bottle team selection. That's it. England have the players to beat Germany. This is their best chance in a number of years to try and beat Germany. Germany are by no means the strongest right now.
No.
But if it doesn't happen, it's because it's bottle team selection.
I mean, every time Germany went up against everybody, you know, apart from the Hungarians, you looked at it and you're like, yeah, you know, the other starting 11 looks a little better, looks a little stronger, you know, but, you know, that's the thing. I mean, who knows? Like, if David, I completely agree. Bottles team selection, and as well, I think he also bottles the tactics as well, David, to be honest. I really do think
come up with some stupid
had enough time. They've had enough time
to
get it right. They've had enough time to get it right, David. They've had enough time to get their starting 11 right, to understand how they utilize Kane, to understand how they should utilize Grealish or Sancho, whatever it is, David. I mean, they've had plenty of time. You
know what's going to happen, though, Jack? Trippier will be left midfield, Kane will be centre back. He'll do all this weird stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. But Group B, David, this is the one I think absolute egg on my face, David. Got it completely wrong. I mean, maybe you could even lecture me here, David, because to be honest, I didn't back the Swedes. I kind of thought that maybe this time the Swedes would be kind of caught out because, to be honest, David, they really do play some of the more boring games, I've ever seen. They're very, very solid defensively, but they don't really, they kind of just seem to get goals out of nowhere and really take their chances. I will give them that. They really do take their chances, but, they really like to just lock up shop, sit back, sit in a nice block against everybody. And they really do, perform, the low defensive block practically better than anyone, I would say. And that's how they got 7 points here. And so maybe that's why I didn't back them. But I absolutely egg on my face. And I backed the Polish, David, to be a bit better than the Swedes. I kind of thought that performance that Lewandowski had in the final game, I kind of thought that was going to be a bit more regular, a bit more of a regularity there, where, the Polish would just be able to break and he would just be able to take over like he did. But to be honest, they didn't. They weren't able to do that, David. And so I got this one completely wrong.
Look, I told you with the Sweden. I told you with Sweden. I had a feeling they'd get out, and they did. I'm delighted. Look, Sweden aren't like Sweden. They're dogged. They're dogged, but they also have that threat in Isaac going forward. He's a very good player, very hard.
And Kulusevski's back now as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They were missing him. He's back, so they're going to have another threat on the opposite side. So look, Sweden. Don't take them lightly. Do I think they're going to progress into later stages? No. But I did think they'd get out of this group, and they did. I'm delighted. Poland, I knew they wouldn't. I didn't think they were great either. Spain, look, I thought they'd probably dominate the group, which they didn't. But they got out. And Slovakia, yeah, well, look, they've done enough to get out at the end of the day. And look, I did think Spain and Sweden would be first and second. And, it'll be between Slovakia and Poland to fight it out. Slovakia, did they make it out? Did they qualify?
Let me check again, David. I'm pretty sure they didn't actually. Yeah, I don't see them there, David. They did not.
No, so Slovakia have gone harsh on them after such a great start.
I feel like they played really well, and then it's just the final game against Spain, David. That was their one game, David. That was their one game where they just needed to, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was just they really saved their best for Sweden and Poland and couldn't save it, for Spain, it seemed like.
Yeah, no, Jesus, they were awful against Spain. Absolutely, They just fell apart.
That was one of the worst goals I've ever seen.
That goal difference is probably what sent them home, being absolutely trounced by Spain. Wayne Bonner says Poland disappointed, not too impressed with Spain. Yeah, Poland were book. Look, I didn't rate them anyway. Spain, look, being honest, if they actually had a striker that could put the ball in the net, they would be decent. But the fact you have Morata up front, forget about it. They ain't winning the shores. It'll be very
Spanish soap opera up front. It's a Spanish soap opera up front, David. That's how they like it. It's got to be. There's just got to be somebody who looks like they can finish it, but just can't. They got it's honestly the way they even react is like a Spanish soap opera. The fans, the players, when they miss, it's beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. And big up Wayno for the super chat, my man. I really do appreciate it. Everyone else, feel free to send them in if you want to help or support the channel. Group F. Let's crack on with it.
Here's the one, David. There's so many emotions when it came to this one because after Germany, I really thought against France, I really thought they actually played quite well, and they really were just so unlucky with that own goal. One of the most. I thought that was going to be the worst own goal of the tournament, and then Dubravka for the Slovaks seemed to outdo it there. But yeah, Hummels' own goal as well, I just thought was absolutely atrocious. To be honest, I mean, the Germans, they didn't really create a lot against the French, but they also absolutely dominated them, I thought, in terms of possession, in terms of the actual attacking routes and style. I thought the French were, in a way kind of predictable, where they just waited for the Germans to make a mistake, maybe get picked off, from a tackle from Conte. Conte then gives it to Pogba. Pogba releases it to Griezmann. Griezmann finds Mbappe. It just seemed very predictable. And every time Mbappe would be offsides, and it seemed to work out accordingly. And I just think the French were very lucky to get a win there against the Germans. I think I really should have just ended as a kind of a boring 0-0. I feel like, but then again, they took the 3 points there. And then as well, then it seemed like, David, the story of the group was Hungary, or the team of the group was Hungary. Everybody seemed to be troubled by the Hungarians. The Germans were troubled by them in the final game. The French were absolutely troubled by them. The French were also, maybe you could say, very lucky. Despite all the chances they missed in the first half, in the second half, they really didn't have many chances. And the goal they scored was just almost a five-a-side, kind of like, hoofed it upfield from Lloris. And they just got lucky there, you could say. And the Hungarians were kind of caught off guard. It's just a bizarre group, and maybe it lived up to its potential being the group of death. But maybe the untold story is just the Hungarians, David, just absolutely troubling everyone.
Yeah, well, look, even Wayno here agrees with you. He says, I really thought Hungary might do it. He's got it. Same here. I thought they might have snuck out, Wayno. I thought they might have snuck out. Look, with Hungary, right? Let's give them credit.
Oh, David,
they only lost to Portugal in the last 5 minutes of the game, right? They dug in against France, got a result. And they were
maybe 3 points
unlucky against Germany. Very unlucky against Germany. They went 1-0 up, came back to 1-1. They scored straight away. A minute after Germany had scored. They gave them every chance they gave themselves to get now. Unfortunately, Germany just done it. But look, unlucky, very unlucky. They done themselves proud, Jack. I told you, that they wouldn't engage teams unless they come beyond halfway. That was the case. But it worked because they were able to break on some of these bigger teams. They were able to break on them, and they took the chances when they came along. And they gave themselves every chance. I have to give credit to you for Germany. With Germany, look, a lot of people wrote them off, including me. I thought maybe just France and Portugal would get out of this group. I didn't think Germany would accumulate enough points. But fairness to the Germans, they stuck at task, they stuck at hand. They turned around the game, opening defeat to France. They went and slapped Portugal. You know what I mean? And then, look, they weren't convincing against Hungary, but got the job done.
I thought they were going to get all
very
six,
interesting
David.
Group. Huh?
I thought, David, this is what I was going to finish with. I was going to say, I thought I was going to be the smartest man in the room. If the Germans finished first and they got 3 points against the Hungarians, let's say, maybe what everybody thought it was going to be a nice, easy route for them against the Hungarians, and it wasn't. But let's say it was, and they got all 6 points. And then, the draw still finished over there with France and Portugal. I would have felt like the smartest man in the room. The one guy back in the Germans, just saying, just wait a minute, the Portuguese, the French, they're not ready for these guys. And it would have felt great, but maybe, I don't know, maybe to a degree I got it right. Maybe to a degree I got it pretty wrong, because the Germans at the same time look pretty woeful defensively, David. And I will say they easily can get caught out. And I don't really see them maybe winning it, I will say.
You know what? Look, you don't know. You don't know, because the thing is, like I said, some of these bigger teams could just turn it on coming in the last 16. Germany, over the last 15, 20 years, they have that experience behind them, to be able to manage it. And like with these competitions, you're hearing a lot more people come out nowadays and saying, look, there's no point in peaking in the groups. When you get out of the groups, everyone's studied you, everyone knows how you're going to play. You just want to do enough to get out of the groups and then peak from the last 16 onwards. So I wouldn't write off Germany now. I do think they're going forward. They can undo anybody. If they can tighten that up at the back, they have a good shot. Portugal, done enough to get out. Bit cagey there with France at one stage. It looks like they were going to get sent packing, which was strange throughout that France game. But look, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's equaled the most goals an international footballer. One more goal, he takes that record as well, which will be insane for him. And with France, look, I think it's a case that we'll get stronger as the tournament goes on, being honest with you. Being a bit disappointed, but I do think you'll see the best of France as the tournament goes on. And Wayne Bonner here says, and I agree, David, Spain need a striker. Of course they do, Wayne. Of course they do. With Alvaro or Morata, he wouldn't score in a bottle if he was naked, honestly.
Yeah, David, absolutely. And
Wayne Bonner says, Germany are the Winks of the Euros. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Big up, Wayne. You're going to upset Jacko with that comment line. You're going to upset Jacko.
Oh, I'll take it, Wayne. I'll take for all the support, especially because he's been absolutely loving this. David, I'm just going to ask, can you see the screen all right here now that I've transitioned to this? So we are going to be moving, David, over to that, kind of predictor, and I feel like, with the Irish Hotspur, I feel like, might as well just be doing this together. Might as well debate some of them, maybe even somebody in the comments can, let us know if we're getting it wrong, or, and I just feel like we should go through it, David. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's rock and roll, lad. I agree. Let's have a look through it, discuss a bit on the games, and see what the outcomes are.
Absolutely. So Belgium versus Portugal, David, absolutely hot and heavy there. Absolutely hot and heavy. With the Belgians, they do that kind of 3-5-2, 3-4-3 kind of formation. And to be honest, I think it is very effective. I think it's been very professional for them. And now that Kevin De Bruyne is back, it's unbelievable, the connection and the danger that he has with the connection he has between him and Lukaku. Whenever he finds space, the moment he gets more than one touch on the ball, he's able to find Lukaku in behind, and it's usually just, good night after that. So I might actually back the Belgians here, David. And normally I wouldn't say this. The Portuguese, maybe kind of, at first I was really thinking, they could pull it through, but I might actually weirdly back the Belgians here.
Do you know what? This is going to be a cracker of a game. This is what we want.
Just the Kevin De Bruyne factor.
These are the games we want to see. Wayne Bonnery says, "Sorry, Jack, for dissing the Germans for upsetting you." We don't win. We don't win. Wayne, save that money for points, lad. Save your money for points, man. Just put in your comments. We'll get them up. We'll read them. But honestly, save the dollars for a few points, my man. You enjoy it. You deserve it. You work hard, my man. I appreciate the support and everything. You're an absolute legend. Belgium and Portugal, Jack. This is it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very good game to watch. Look, with Belgium, do you know what? They haven't really been tested down the flanks. I just think if Portugal can get quick ball out to the likes of Neto and whoever plays out the other side, that guy from Bernardo Silva, if they can get quick balls and get them at Toby and get them at Vertonghen, and with Cristiano Ronaldo spearheading the attack, they can get in 3-on-3 situations with Belgium, because Belgium play the 3 centre backs. It'll make for a very interesting game. Who do I think is going to dominate possession? I'd say Belgium. But one thing I will say to you is, when Portugal won Euro 2016, they didn't win a group game. They drew all the group games, got out the group, and went on and won it from there.
Whoa.
On this one, because Ronaldo wants that record of being the most goals in international footballer from ever, and because of what they've done in 2016, I'm going to back Portugal. Look, everyone talks about Belgium. They're always world number one. But they never really do that in international tournaments. They never really, give any real eye-catching displays. So for me, I'm going to predict Portugal.
That was convincing, David. I will say you absolutely convinced me with that. And I'm going to back the Portuguese now as well. I kind of maybe was thinking, just with the Kevin De Bruyne factor, Lukaku factor, so scary. And, like I said in the beginning of all this, I really want Lukaku to get the golden boot. But maybe that was also giving me a bit of bias. But you put a very good argument there for the Portuguese. So I'm going to put the Portuguese in for the Irish Hotspur on behalf of the Irish Hotspur. And I'm very much convinced by that. Moving on to Italy versus Austria, David. I think it's an obvious one for the Italians there. The Austrians, I feel like they've had their moments of brilliance where they've looked good. Maybe it might be like a 1-0, 2-0 kind of, game. But I just see the Italians as just being so professional. And I don't see them even conceding a goal to the Austrians, David.
No, neither do I. I think it'll be a very comfortable day at the office for Italy. Look, Austria, they'll dig in deep. They'll be hard to break down. But I just think Italy will have too much for them. I think Italy have been a standout team in this competition so far. And look, I can't look past them. I do think they should be Austria with ease, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. I could really agree with that. France and Switzerland, David. Look, the Swiss, I feel like, again, they've had their moments of where they've looked kind of decent. They do also kind of employ a bit of a 3-in-the-back kind of formation as well. They have really good pacey kind of technical wingers. That are kind of fullbacks for them. That guy, Briel Mbolo, has had some incredible runs and has actually, turned the game upside down sometimes with some of his kind of individual brilliance. But then again, as much as I just back them there, I do think the French are just going to be just so stubborn defensively, and they'll just outclass them at the end of the day.
Look, with Switzerland and Bolo, he does make good runs and stuff like that, but there's a reason why he was moved from striker to left winger. He originally came through as a striker, but the reason why he's moved to left winger is because he can't finish. He just can't finish. He's not great at all. So look, for me, France should win this hands down easy anyway. Should be an easy win. Hands down, France will win this one. And yeah, they'll destroy Switzerland. Switzerland, they're only going to be partaking really. France should take the game to them and win this easy. Look, this could even be a rout. This could be 4-5-0. Jack, just quickly, man, we've 2 super chats. Let me get to it. Two generous people. Bob Spur, he says, banter aside, if the Italy of old had come through their games without conceding a goal, and top their group, we would have been bigging them up, saying how resilient and professional they look. Big up.
Wow.
100%. I agree. I fully agree with that. Bob, I fully agree with that. Look, Bob, I know you would agree that Italy have probably been the best team, but Jack, do you want to say something to Bob?
No, I think Italy they look the most professional. They really look like they're sipping the coffee, and also they're smelling the coffee in the morning, and they know what actually the trophy's looking like. To be honest, David, it's saying it's coming home, but I think it's actually coming to a different home. It's coming down to the Mediterranean, maybe with a bit of pasta as well, served inside of it. They've looked absolutely professional. And when you really think as well, like some of the players like Chiellini and Bonucci, they look 10 years younger again, David. I'm not sure what's in the fizzy water that they have down there, but something is making them younger. With Insigne, Berardi, Immobile. If you actually think about it.
I've been very impressed with Insigne. I have to say, I've never really rated him, but I've been very impressed with him this tournament.
I've always loved Insigne. With Insigne, I forgot who I've always likened him to be, but he really is to me kind of like a bit of the Italian Messi. He's just unbelievable on the ball. He really knows how to cut inside, and he's just also just so intelligent, David. He almost maybe looks like maybe a bit of maybe a bit of a David Theirishyid or whatever you would say, maybe of a Heretino. But I don't know, David. He looks like he has a similar touch to you, maybe a bit of a nice flair as well.
No, my touch is better, lad. My touch is better, lad.
Does the short socks, David? He does the short
ball
socks.
Drops out of the air, lad, right? I just put my toe to it, lad, and it just stops dead on. It's beautiful. It's better than Jack Grealish's, lad. I'm not messing. But Bob, I really agree with you on Italy, my man. Great comment, and thank you so much for the super chat, lad. You should be saving it for, the England game coming up. Get yourself a few bottles in and everything else. But I really do appreciate the support, Bob. Absolute legend. What a legend. And everybody, get over and subscribe to Bob Spur TV. The guy, he's on the big push for 1K. I've said this so many times about the guy, whether he's planned or not to come on the show. If someone drops out, you can always rely on Bob Spur to fill in. He helps me out so much with thumbnails and everything else. The guy is amazing. You need to get over and make sure you smash that subscribe button on his channel and help him to get to the 1K.
Wow, Shauna.
And Shauna Blaney, honestly, this is insane.
Wow.
Really no need. Really no need. I really do appreciate you're too kind and too generous. I don't know how to accept it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But you say, Shauna says France will definitely be too much for Switzerland. 100%. 100%. Look, Mbappe is going to run riot. I was going to say, look, with Paul Pogba, he's been very disappointing this tournament for me. I think there's so much more in there if he just applied himself correctly. Griezmann, look, he's a Lego version of Gareth Bale, but at the same time, as much as I hate the guy, he just has that knack of popping up. He has the knack of popping up and getting a goal. Benzema, he's added a new dimension. He took his goal very well the other night as well. Benzema, he's very good. He's clinical, that guy. And he was a good addition by Didier Deschamps to bring in. And defensively, they're solid as well. Pavard, Varane. Who else have they got? There's a couple other in there, and of course, they got Hugo Lloris as goalkeeper. Hugo as goalkeeper. Although he gave the penalty away the other night with Hugo, I've been a huge critic of him not coming for the ball, not protecting his area. At least he came for it, and it was just one of them. The defender got there ahead of him. But Shauna, I fully agree with you. France should annihilate Switzerland. For me, this could be a 3-4-0. This could be the first spanking of the tournament. You see, Jack, do you want to say anything to Shauna?
No, Shauna. I mean, Shauna's the absolute queen of the Harris Army, and we know that. And Shauna's she's so generous, and the way she does it, it takes the breath out. She just takes the breath away, David, and she doesn't need to. Shauna, you're an absolute queen of the Harris Army. Sometimes it's you're just so generous, and honestly as well. Everybody, go head over to Shauna Blaney's channel as well. She's producing content all the time. I know she's doing it whenever she can. She's mostly on Spurs. I think it's just a nice, sit down, wake up in the morning kind of coffee kind of content, at least for me, that is, I like to watch it in the morning with a bit of coffee. It's a big up, Shauna. Really, she takes the breath away, David. She's that generous. Generous.
100%. Honestly, it's too generous, Shauna. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate the support and that. And of course, guys, she was on the fan show the other day. First female representative on the fan show, and she absolutely smashed it. She knocked it out of the park. She was a brilliant guest. We will be getting Shauna on more. I will be going on her channel as well, to do a video on there as well. And yeah, she's absolutely great. And everybody get over and check out her YouTube channel. Make sure you smash the subscribe on it. She now has 2 YouTube channels, so make sure you get over there, smash the subscribe on both of them. Also, follow her on Twitter. Follow her on Twitter. Big up, Shauna. I really do appreciate that. Too generous. But, Shauna, you should be saving your money. Get yourself a night out for the England game when it comes around or something like that.
She's back in France, it sounds like, David. It sounds like, I want to know, Shauna, is France your winner? Is France your winner, Shauna? You don't have to put in a super chat. Believe me, Shauna, we'll find you in the comments and we'll put it up. You've been so generous, though, Shauna, and you really are an absolute legend. But I do want to know, Shauna, who you're backing maybe to win it all. Would be interesting. Yeah. As well as you, Wayne. Who's your real winner? Who's your winner, Wayne? And
Sean, Wayne, Bob Spur, everybody watching, get in the comments. Let us know, who you think's going to be the winner or who's going to be the winner. And Sean, let us know. No need to super chat. We'll find you in the comments. We'll get it up. Same as Wayne and everybody else. Absolute legends. Too kind. And Wayne says here, Shauna Blaney, the queen of super chats. Big up. 100%. She is. She owns super chats. That Shauna does. Absolute legend. Fair play to her. And Wayne Bonner says, Bob Spur, big up. I miss your day after the day before. Yeah, we are missing that actually from Bob.
I did like that. I love that.
It was nice for lunchtime. I could sit there, chill out, have me salad. Give it a listen to. So big up, Bob. We need to get that back up and running. And when will you be doing Sean a Spurs story? Look, 100%. That's one I will be getting down to do. I have a few this week, and then I'll be in contact, and we'll get her down to do one. Big up, Wayne. 100%. We'll definitely get down. Sean, if you're watching, let me know if you want to do a Spurs story, and we'll sit down and do it. So we will. But big up, everybody. Is she Irish? I don't think she's Irish. Sean, let us know if you're Irish if you're watching. Let us know if there's some sort of Irish in there. But Jack, look, let's crack on, my man. Everybody with the super chats, thank you. You're too kind.
Sometimes, David, I think there's always a bit of Irish in somebody. It's kind of like finding a quarter under the couch, the kind of thing, David. There's like finding pennies under the couch. There's always a little bit in there. But at the end of the day, we're going to Croatia, Spain. Spain. This could be maybe one of the more interesting games, I feel like, of maybe the ones we were speaking about earlier. Belgium, Portugal could be maybe the best game of the opening rounds. But I will say Croatia, Spain could be interesting, or it could be an absolute doozy of maybe just like a 0-0, 1-0 kind of game. But it could be fascinating, I feel like, because they're two very technical sides that kind of play very similar.
I was going to say 2 boring sides.
Yeah, trying to be nice about it. And David's actually come with what I'm really trying to say, what I'm actually saying behind the subtext. But with Croatia and Spain, David, this one's interesting. I really do think it's not maybe as easy for Spain as maybe some might make it out to be. Obviously, the Croatians have not been brilliant. They've been quite underwhelming. But, I will say their midfield is maybe even a bit more technically prowess than Spain's. Their front line, with the likes of Perisic, he is a proven finisher for his country, and also some of the guys recently, they have been kind of hitting the back of the net with some absolute wonder goals recently, this team. So maybe that's the other thing maybe we can remember about the Croatians. The Itches, they're always capable of, the best goals of the tournament. They always have it in them, and those little feet of theirs. So I'm actually going to back the Croatians, David, but I'd love to know what you think.
Look, I think this is going to be a game. I think it's going to be boring. I think both teams are going to try and keep possession. And
I see a 1-0.
This, that, and the other probably go for a 1-0 win. Me, personally, I actually think Spain's legs, I think they will outrun Croatia. I think that will tell eventually, and Spain will probably get through. But you're Jack and Nikic, so we're putting Croatia through.
Thank you, David. Let me have it.
Luka Modric is there, and I loved it. One of my favorite midfielders ever to grace the game. So we have to back it.
We have to back the Itches, David. You always have to back them. They're always going to be coming up against at the end of the day, against the French anyway, and probably lose there, either team, I would say. So we're just going to back the Itches. We're going to stick behind them, and we're going to, we're just going to believe in their technical.
Wayne Bonner's jumping ahead here, Jacko. He's saying Sweden, Ukraine would be a very interesting game. Wayne, 100%. We'll get on to that, my man. We'll have a chat on that. Look, I'm up for Sweden. I know Jack's up for Ukraine, so that'll be very interesting, Jacko. Jacko and Wayne. So look, we'll get to that one for you, Wayne. Shauna Blaney. If not England, France or Italy, I think will win. With France, we haven't seen the best of them yet, and Italy have been better than I thought they would. If not England, look, Sean, I can tell you, look, although half the nation already thinks they've won it, I don't think they will win. I don't think they will win it, Shauna. Look, they could surprise me. If they do, I'll hold my hands up. I'll say fair play, but I don't think England will win it. But I agree with you, France or Italy for me. I think they're two. I don't think you can look past them. I really don't. But I agree with you, France or Italy. And yeah, they've been better than what. Look, Italy have been a lot better than what I thought they would. They really have. I haven't seen too much of them going into the tournament, but Italy have been poor over recent years, and they had a good qualifying campaign coming in. I don't think they conceded a goal, and they've come into the Euros and they've really turned it on. So Roberto Mancini's done a very good job there. Jack, what do you think?
No, David. I mean, it was kind of one of those. I'll give credit to actually Nikki Bandini. She's from The Guardian, and that's what I actually took it from my original prediction. Because the original prediction for Italy, I had them semifinals and then / finalists, where I really was backing them from the beginning. When I made that PowerPoint, weeks before the tournament started, and it was just from what she was tweeting about, what she had spoken about in The Guardian, that, this Italy team, when you actually really dive into it, when you really think about it, it's a real team of real unity. They all know each other, and they all are coming off fantastic seasons as well individually. And there's pretty much just, a real solid force there. And also maybe the idea that Roberto Mancini is going away from that 3 in the back system and moving towards a 4 in the back, which is a bit more attacking, a little less pragmatic. You could say they're one of the more exciting teams to watch in the way that they play. I think they've been an absolute revelation. And in a way, it's not even my own thinking, David. I just took it from Nikki Bandini, and I trusted her a lot. And so, it's actually maybe come to fruition. And I think they're absolutely brilliant, the Italians. They've been
brilliant. Wayne Bonner says Italy have surprised me, but knockout anything goes 100%. And a lot of people here saying, it's coming home and all this jazz. But big up Shauna, big up Wayne, big up Aaron, Peter, Carl Simpson, Tony Introvert. Everyone give yourselves a good pat on the back, and kudos as well. Big up everybody, absolute legends. Make sure you have smashed the like on the stream, and if you're new, subscribe on the channel too. But look, Jack, let's get back into it, man, because I do have football to attend to shortly. So
let's get through, David. So Sweden, Ukraine. Look, I think Sweden, Ukraine will be actually kind of a similar game to maybe what like Shakhtar Donetsk was against Antonio Conte's Inter a little while back in that kind of Europa semi-league final. I think it's going to be the Ukrainians might actually kind of dominate possession. The Swedish will kind of, let them, have the ball in their own half. And then, they'll probably just hit them on the counter, and you have a really, kind of staunch, center that, won't let anything through. And I just see the Swedish just practically outclassing them and just being a bit more professional than the Ukrainians as well.
Yeah, look, for me, I can't look past Sweden. I do think they'll have too much for Ukraine. I actually think you'll see a better Sweden. I actually think they might dominate this game. And the reason why I say that is because Ukraine did look very, very tired that last game. Very, very tired. Out of ideas, out of energy. You know what I mean? And honestly, they look bollocks. So for me, on that basis, I do think if the longer the game goes on, if it's in the balance, Sweden will nick it. So I'm going to go Sweden to win this one.
Absolutely. That last part you said, I think is also very true, where if it's 0-0 after halftime, 0-0 in the 60th, let's say, I'd only see one team winning it, and that would be Sweden. With England, Germany, David, look, some think it's coming home, David. I like I said before, I've smelled it, on the shores over here. I'm hearing the sings, I'm hearing the songs of, and the England fans that it's coming home. But this one's a tough one, David. This one's a tough one because with the Germans, they pretty much can play through anybody. They can play through the middle, even with the Hungarians, who practically had maybe the best, defensive shape in terms of blocking the middle you could ever say of any team in this tournament. The Germans still in plenty of moments were just able to just play through the middle, have someone sit there on the ball, look up, try to find someone to ping in behind. And to be honest, I could see the Germans actually playing through the middle against England quite easily. But let me know what you think, David.
Look, this one is a very tough one to predict. I did say to you privately, Jack, I wanted England to get Germany. It's come out that way. I'm absolutely loving it. Look, with Germany, they have a very good record of England in knockout football, international football. This is England's very best chance to beat Germany in European football over a number of years. Germany have kind of, look, They've been better than what I thought they were, but they haven't been great. They're not top level. I'm going to go England to win this one. I know. Look, to be honest with you, I want them to get knocked out. I really do. I just have that sneaky suspicion that they will probably win this one.
Let's do it, David. I'm going to concede to that as well, because I think England have a much better squad, much better depth, far better players, to be honest. But, maybe it's just there's something about the Germans that I think will make it a bit scary for the English. And I bet, maybe the way that the Germans might either dominate possession or something, you'll see a lot of English fans probably, ranting in the pub. But maybe there might be some breakaway goal that they'll get via Sterling or whatever, and they'll just take 1-0 and then they'll just sing the songs again, David. So
singing Southgate, You're the One, and Vindaloo. And
you could see it as a 1-0.
Coming home and
you could see it as a 1-0, David. I think it could be a 1-0 where Sterling again just grabs, a goal from, seems like, out of nowhere. But Netherlands and the Czech Republic, Dave, another maybe very good opening round game, I would say.
Do you know what?
I'm going to back the Czechs. I want to back the Czechs here.
Yeah, I'm going to back Czech Republic. I do think Netherlands can be got at defensively. I think the Czechs, they're sturdy enough defensively.
And Schick,
do you know what? I think that I've been waiting for an upset, and I think this is it.
I think Schick has looked like a baller as well, David. He looks so silky. I love a tall man, love a large man with a beautiful touch.
Souček. There's a few of them. They've been very good this for Czech Republic. And look, they're a lot better on the ball than what I gave them credit for. I think this could be. I think this could be the upset. I really do. I really do think this could be the upset. Sean Blaney says, I haven't been that impressed with Germany. It's going to be a tough game. We have the players to beat them. Southgate just needs to pick the right team. I fully agree, Sean. Comes down to team selection. If they don't beat Germany, it's because Gareth Southgate has bottled it. And Wayne Bonner with the super chat, he says, Germany are like Spurs, need new blood and manager. 100%. I couldn't agree more with Joanna. Kudos says, Germans going for a blitzkrieg. Mr. K's in the building, big yourself up. I think Netherlands could easily win this tournament. And Czech Republic, we will not be able to handle them. Look,
could be right.
Fair observation.
Could be
I just think Netherlands can be got at, and I think Czech Republic could be the team to do it.
I think this is also, David, you got to have one where, it's kind of a bit of an upset. And I would say this is our big, upset prediction, you could say, of the ones. This is definitely the big one. And Wales and Denmark, David, I'm backing the Danes to go really far. But then again, the Welsh have been absolutely brilliant. And I have never given them enough credit. Still am not giving them enough credit. But I'm going to back the Danes here, David. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I want to apologise to Wayne as much as I do want to get behind the Welsh, especially with Rode and Bale and, look, Mr. Anonymous there. I just can't look by Denmark. I just think that whole thing with Christian Eriksen, together with this they have right now, will could bring them a long way in this competition.
Team of leaders, team of Vikings. Look,
Denmark have popped up before in international football and come out of nowhere and done things. It may have been years and years ago back in the 90s, but they've still done it. And Denmark, they've always had decent enough players. So for me, I'm going to go Denmark on this one.
Love it, David. Absolutely love it. Let's go back to the top here. Portugal and Italy, David. Who you backing?
1 second. 14-14 Yorks. David, didn't think you were an Irish bigot wanting England to get knocked out, but support an English club like 95% of the English fans. First of all, I'm going to say you're the bigot, my man, because at the end of the day, look, there's not better than a good bit of old-fashioned rivalry. It's healthy in football, same at Tottenham Arsenal, same at club level, same as at international level. So you're the bigot, by the way, for putting in that comment without actually, watching my content over the last while to understand. So you're the bigot, and England, wanting England to get knocked out. Why wouldn't I? It's rivalry. I'm Irish. English, when Ireland play, they want us to get knocked out. Why would? Honestly, that's a stupid comment. You've actually made yourself look like a bigot. I'm for that, Jack. Let's go back and change our prediction. Let's put Germany through just to fuck him off now.
I absolutely love it, David. Let me just share it so he can see, David. Let me just share it so he can see.
Wayne Bonner, I fancy Denmark to reach at least the semis. Yeah, 100%, Wayne. I go along the lines with that. I just want to say to everybody, look, it's like, the thing is, my mom's English. I don't hate English. My mother's English. It's good old-fashioned rivalry. It's what I grew up in my household. My dad's English, or my dad's Irish, my mom's English. There was always that bit of banter and everything else. It's what I grew up with in my household. So to come in and call me a bigot, what an absolute buffoon. What a buffoon. You know, put him up in a hot air balloon that doesn't come down.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Well done. And, and like we said, we even gave we all conceded at the end. We gave them a bit of the banter, David, and, and then we conceded to them because we think they are the better team, but, maybe they had their chance. Portugal and Italy, David, I'm backing the Italians. I think the Italians are going really far in this. The Portuguese, I think they've struggled. And with the Italians, I just think through and through that 11, they seem to just work in unison. They seem to fight for each other. And also maybe that attacking trio is maybe is a lot better than we think.
Sorry, you lost me. Sorry. Italy, Portugal. Oh, this is a tasty one, Jack.
I know. Might be one of the better ones.
Look, I'm going to go Italy on this one. I do think Italy will go through.
Same here, David. Like I said, it's the attacking trio. It's that 11. It's just that fighting spirit that they seem to show for each other. I really do back them to maybe even win this tournament. France and Croatia. Look, I don't think there's really no doubt about it. I do think the French are just such a frustrating team to play against. They don't really do it in a very pretty way, but they just get the job done somehow. Somehow, every time they just get the job done. So I do back them together.
Just quickly again, Jacko, we have him back here again. It's not banter, it's hate. I should know. Hatred, I should know. I live in Ireland. I live in Ireland. I grew up in Croydon. I'm living in Ireland. My ma's living in Ireland. She's English. You know what I mean? I know a lot of other people, English people that live in Ireland, and they get on and they always say the Irish are the nicest people and everything else. So look, maybe it's just because you're a bigot and an arrogant prick, and that's probably why you get the hate you do, my man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wayne Bonner with the soup chat. 14 Yorks. Don't be a prick. Exactly. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm English, Welsh, and Irish. Big up, Wayne. You tell him, my man. You legend. Look, the only reason why he gets so much hate is because, like you said, Wayne, he is a prick. So big up, Wayne. Big up, Wayne. I appreciate the soup chat. And in our nurse, big up Irish Hotspurs and Jack, Levy out and Enoch out. And Tony Intover, I live in Dublin. Big up, Wayne Bonner. I really do appreciate it. And look, I don't understand it. Nothing. Just move on.
Move on, David. Like and subscribe. 1414. I think you'll like all the content here. It's usually quite England loving. So maybe it might feel a little bit better next time. But yeah, moving on here, David. France and Croatia. I back the French. I think they'll just get the job done. We did have England here earlier, David. But we switched it back to the Germans. Maybe a bit of an error there. So I'm actually going to back the Germans here against the Swedish. But maybe, David, just maybe, you could say that the Swedish, might pull off another upset like they did in the World Cup against the Germans.
Oh, look. Do you know what? I was going to say if it was England, I predict England to win. But it's Germany, Sweden. Yeah, Germany will have too much for Sweden. I think this will be as far as Sweden will go. I do think Germany has too much.
As well. We'll still pretend it's even England as well a little bit. Then the Danish and the Czechs. This could be maybe one of the games, David, that on paper doesn't look like the best one. The quarterfinals, but actually in reality might be the most interesting tactically. You might say the Czechs and the Danish could be a really good open game. I feel like, and just also really hardworking kind of play. With really tough tackling and just everything. Like the defensive midfielders in this game will be unbelievable.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a very good game. Look, it could be.
This one's hard, David. Really,
it is. It is. The Czech Republic are my dark horses, but you know what? I'm gonna go back I'm gonna back Denmark. I do think just what they have at the minute with the togetherness and everything else, we'll see them a long way through. And I think I'm going to back
semifinals for the Danes. That'd be unbelievable. That would be.
It'd be an unbelievable achievement. But Denmark have done it before, Jack.
Yeah,
done it before. They can't show up to these competitions. Wayne Bonner with another super chat. Big up, my man. Big up. I told you, keep your money. Get yourself some pints, man. But big up. I really appreciate it. He says my dad's folks were English and Welsh. My mum's Irish. Exactly 100%. Look, there's a lot of people I know like that where they have Welsh, Irish, English, true. It's just because everyone moved around back then in them generations and everything else. So big up, Absolute legend, my man. You're an absolute legend. And that guy is just getting an absolute tonking in the comment section, which is absurd. So let's move on.
The Harris Army, Dave, it's a hard one. You don't want to tread against the Harris Army. They are a tough one. You get an earful. Definitely get an earful from the Harris Army, from the Flag Cappers. So maybe the wrong one to mess with. But Italy and France, David, look, the French, I respect them. I like a lot of their players, David. It's just I really hate the way they play. I think they have the best 11 in the world, the best players to choose from in the world. Yet the way they play is just so soul-sucking. It's so just, do whatever it takes to win, put every man behind the ball, even though you have the best players in the world. There's nothing interesting about it. And there's maybe something about me that might think, the Italians will look at it in a very professional manner. They might not be as attacking. They might not expose themselves because the Italians are very pragmatic. And I'm going to back the Italians. I think they just might even, I wouldn't say a walloping, David, but I just do think the Italians they just might be up for it enough that they actually might really surprise the French.
Yeah, do you know what? I see where you're coming from. Because France have the know-how from the World Cup and they are looking to do World Cup Euros double, I think that experience will pay off.
What does the Harris Army think? But I mean, this one, I might.
We'll let the Harris Army decide this one. Do you know what? You've gone with most of mine. I'm not going to doubt you. We're going to back you. We're going to go with Italy.
We'll correct it. If the Harris Army back the French, though, we'll go back and correct it. But yeah, for this one, I really want the Italians. They're actually the team I kind of really want to win. It'd be a huge shocker, to see them kind of, maybe fade out of, European dominance and then just make this kind of comeback. I just think would be absolutely glorious. With Denmark versus Germany, also maybe you could also think about it as Denmark versus England, just thanks to 14-14, it's Germany instead right now. But let's say, David, we'll answer it both ways. Let's say it's Germany versus Denmark. Who are you backing?
I do think this is where Denmark might phase out. I do think Germany would probably have enough on the day to beat the Danes.
Let's say we're England, David. Let's say we're England, David. We're England. Let's say we're England. I think we both back England to, beat Sweden here. Let's say we're England here against the Danes or the Czechs or something. Would you back the English?
I would fancy the English to beat Denmark. I would. Look, I just think semi-finals would be an amazing achievement for Denmark, and I think that's where the competition will run out. Providing our who we've put through is correct. Look, it could be a thing that, look, Denmark end up playing the Netherlands, because we did put down Czech Republic to beat Netherlands. But if that's not the case and Netherlands get through, it could be Netherlands-Germany semi-final, which could be interesting. But look, for me, I think I'm going to pick the Germans to go into the final. So I am. Shauna Blaney, she's gone for France. She wants France in. Matty Hayes wants France in. Big up Matty Hayes.
Should we switch
Aaron Hayes, he says France are horrid to watch.
Yeah, they are.
Kevin Murray, Italians haven't played anyone of quality yet. Fair play. Aaron Hayes wants France. No, exactly, John. It doesn't. I agree with you. And Kudos wants to see an underdog in the final. And 14-14 Yorks. No, I'm not. It's fact. All those in Ireland hating on England, live and breathe the Premiership, would not wear Irish club jersey in a million years. Yeah, because the Irish League is shit, man. And I grew up supporting Spurs. I actually grew up in Croydon, 14-14 Yorks. So everything you're putting in there, unless you know my history, unless you've actually, you know me, everything you're saying is completely wide of the mark, my man. So, yeah, thank you. Just make sure you do subscribe, lad.
Yeah, kind of irrelevant. But David, it seems like they're back in the French here. Should we change it?
Do you know what? The Harris Army want the French, Jack, but you put so much into this. We're going to back what you want, and we're going to keep it Italy.
Okay, then if it comes down to that, and this would be absolutely glorious, if it comes down to Italy versus Germany, David, I am going to be backing the Italians once again. I really do think the Italians have just been sensational to watch. I would love to see Insigne win it. He's probably the height of the trophy, with Berardi as well. I really back him. The Italian Mahrez, Domenico Berardi, Ciro Immobile, beautiful hair, beautiful man as well. it's a beautiful attacking trio, David. They have a much better hair. They're much better for probably a Head and Shoulders commercial than the England front three, I would say. I think they're absolutely winning it. I think it's coming home, and I think it's coming home to a beautiful, nice Italian vineyard, or, something along the coast of Sicily, or maybe even a nice Naples pizzeria. But it's coming home, David. It's coming home to a different place, though.
Yeah, look, for that final, Jack, I'm going to have to go down and buy the finest lasagna, with a bit of garlic bread with it. You know what I mean? And just enjoy it, lad. Maybe get a pizza slice or two. You know what I mean? Chill out, relax. Put on the finest Italian buffet. I think. Look, I actually think France are going to win it. I actually do think France will beat Italy. Because you want Italy, if it is Italy, Germany, I'm going to go with Italy. But me personally, I actually do think France. But no, Jack, don't change it, because you're usually 10 times right. You're 9 times out of 10, you're right and I'm wrong. So look, I am going to go France. Look, you're going to go Italy. But look, there you have it. So for us, here at the Irish Hotspurs, between France and Italy, everybody, let us know what you think.
Yeah, that was tons of fun, David. Honestly, I'm glad that I have the Italians, I'm backing them to win it. They have a really tough route as well. I kind of agree with that comment where maybe they haven't actually faced someone of real consequence yet. But then again, they have a really tough route. They're not on the easy side of the bracket. They're on the hard side. So I could actually see them doing quite well.
Cara Simpson says that Germany spot is England. I am remaining confident it's going home. It was England's card. It was England's until York pissed me off. So then we changed it. Aaron Hayes would love to see Italy win the whole thing. Bonucci and Chiellini are brothers. I don't care that they're different names. They are identical. Look, they are identical. Playing at the age they are. It's unbelievable. Kevin Murray says, "Good man, Matt." Look, Matt Hayes. I see you called David a bigot. How about you attend a history lesson? Why on the earth would we support a team that suppressed our nation for 600 years and tried to decimate our culture? There you are. Look, it's the truth. I didn't want to go that deep on it, but
you didn't even, David. Yeah, you didn't even need to.
I didn't want to do it.
But well done, get money. Well done, Matty.
John Fitzpatrick, if England beat the Germans, they could get to the final. 100%. Hunting us off for one. Sean and Blaney, you're just embarrassing yourself now. You never know someone's story to supporting a team. And there's literally rivalry between all home nations. So stop being an idiot. Big up Shauna. Big up Matty. I know, Matty. I know, Matty. Look, I wanted to say it, but I held back. Wasn't sure. You know what I mean? But you put it out there, so now I know it's okay to say. So big up, Matt Hayes. Really do appreciate it. Jack, anything else you want to say to the Harris Army there, my man, before you end off?
No, listen, the Harris Army has been absolutely legendary today. Not only, defending David from 14-14, but also, really enjoying, sticking with us through, this Euros preview and now the Euros kind of prediction reaction. Wayne Bonner has been an absolute legend. Thank you, Wayne, for joining us for this. I'm so glad you've been enjoying that, kind of enjoying this. And, joining us for maybe the pub and, a bit of a beer, giving us your thoughts, and your reactions. I love that you agree with most of them as well. You're an absolute legend. Also, Shauna Blaney's just been an absolute legend today. She's been a huge queen for the Harris Army always. But then today she seems to really been enjoying this and has cracked on. Just got to say, everybody's been an absolute legend. I really love nice, relaxing stream maybe for us, David. Just get to talk about Euros, nothing really Spurs related. And it's just been kind of a nice talk about football. And now that we have the Italians, winning it as well, absolutely brilliant. And then Matty Hayes saying, loving the Air to Berlin jersey. Yeah, it's when it was in my time there. It's got the Andre Duda. That's the guy that you might remember from the Slovakians. He played for Air to Berlin, and I fell in love with him when he played for us. He was kind of like maybe a cheap man's, I don't know how you say it, maybe like a cheap man's Grealish, to be honest. He's kind of like cheap man's Jack Grealish. But he's a Slovakian player, played there for a little bit. He was absolutely brilliant, but he moved on. Now he plays for, I think, FC Köln, and I've missed him ever since.
And Matty, true story, man, true story. I was sitting here beforehand, drinking my smoothie, and for some reason I mistaked the Hertha Berlin crest for the 3 lines. And I was sitting there, I was like, Jack, did you do that just to piss me off? And then I realized, it was a Hertha Berlin jersey, Matty. So, crisis was averted. But big up, Matty, and it is a lovely jersey, to be fair. It is very nice. Wayne Bonner, David, you and Matt should do a bigotry stream. Big up Wayne Bonner. Appreciate that one, man. Right for your site TV. How you keeping, man? I hope all is good. I hope all is good. We are just ending. You're coming in as we're just ending, my man. Wayne, is that Luke or Ben? Let me know. Carl Simpson, Wayne, that would be a heavy stream. Shauna Blaney, great stream. Big up, David and Jack. Shauna.
Wow, Shauna.
Honestly, too kind. I really do appreciate it. You've been too kind over the course of this stream. You're absolutely brilliant. And look, I hope to see you on all the fan shows from now on, and stuff like that. And we'll be in contact about getting you to do a Spurs story and everything else like that. Big yourself up, Sean. I really do appreciate it. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. Let's just take a few more comments here, just because this is starting to get a bit fun.
Big up Sean as well, yeah. Just want to say
Tottenham blog, no problem. Support Spurs. Have you? What country are they from? By the way, I know history. Full stop. So the sort that fuels hatred. Kudos. That would be hilarious. Wayne Bonner. Let the fans know the real reason behind hatred. Yeah. I guess you could. Look, to be honest with you, Wayne, I'll be honest. I don't like doing streams into political things and all that sort of stuff. I prefer just to keep it football based. Wayne, but yeah, it's a good idea, my man. Big up, Wayne. Tony Introvert, come on, Kane. You want to come to Liverpool. Come on now, Tony. Start behaving now. Start behaving, Tony. Kevin Murray, Yusuf Brat, Jack, USAF Brat.
I don't know. Maybe, I'm not sure. But Kevin Murray, whatever it is, big up yourself. Good to see you in the comments. I'm not really sure. It kind of comes, even the next comment's kind of like gibberish. So I'm not sure. Yeah,
100%. And Shauna Blaney says she's always here to support all you guys. Look, everybody, I just want to take this opportunity as well. Any content creator, any, especially Spurs, always, even if you don't watch the stream, always smash a like on it. Put a thumbs up underneath it. Do what you can. If you're watching, make sure you're engaging, putting in your comments in the chat. If you have it, put in a super chat. Always help support every channel you come across if you can, especially the Spurs ones, mainly the Spurs ones.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they need your support to help feeding out this stuff and basically to follow their dream and put out content full time and everything else. So, even if you can't do super chats, just a like on the stream, thumbs up underneath the stream, everything else. It all really, really does help. So, big yourselves up. Look, I want to say a massive thank you to Wayne and Shauna and Bob Spur for the super chats today. Absolute legends. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I want to say a massive thank you to the Harris Army as well for tuning in. I really do appreciate that as well. For the likes on the stream. When the stream is over, just put in a thumbs up or a David, you're the best, or whatever you want to put in there. You know what I mean? Jack's the greatest, Jack's the GOAT, David's better than Jack, whatever you want to put in there, just throw it in underneath. All really does help. Jack, do you want to let people know what you have coming up now?
Yeah, David, I think sorry, gibberish. Now I'm losing my words all of a sudden because I'm thinking about Hertha Berlin and I'm thinking about maybe the calamitous season we're about to have because I really was having a flashback similar to Spurs. Hertha Berlin practically almost got relegated this season. So I'm not even kidding, David. I was in a daze there. But coming up today, I do have the Two Brian show on Tottenham away. It's going to be a cracker. I think we're going to be talking about just Euros. We're going to be previewing, the England-Germany game. Going to be lots of people, back in England there and that. So I will be kind of defending maybe the Germans, giving them a bit of a reality check. But as well, I do also back the English to win. So yeah, you can catch me there at Tottenham away. Please head over there and subscribe because the show will be out at 7 p.m. USA time or, over here at Eastern Standard Time. And then UK time be around 12 a.m. midnight. So it's kind of a bit of a North American stream, but it's also, if you're up late in the UK as well, come and join us. We'll be talking about England and Germany and plenty of other things. So that's over at Tottenham away. And then always you can find me over here with David. We're coming out with plenty of stuff coming up and we have plenty of things going on. So, you can catch me here as well at the Irish Hotspur. No,
100%. And I can't wait for your new channel to come out as well, Jack. It's going to be a whopper. So it is. It's going to be an absolute whopper. I can't wait for it. Look, I'll help you with everything I can, to help get it off the ground, and I'll always be there for you. And look, I'm sure you have the same with a lot of people across the Tottenham family as well. So big up, Jack. Harris Army, it's been wonderful. I love you all. You know, nobody ever has to be alone. Nobody ever can feel like they have no one to talk to. You always have a friend in me, Dave, the Irish Hotspur. All my links to my social media is below. My email, my Twitter. Just contact me on either or. We'll get in contact. I always have time for everybody. Never, ever be alone. That's the most important message, you know. So, look, the Harris Army, love you all. Stay safe. And I'll be back Saturday. I'm covering all the last 16 games on We Are Tottenham TV. Both Saturday, both Sunday, both Monday, both Tuesday. You know, the boys are away, so I'll be covering them all. So make sure you get over there. Try and help support me. Be in the comments section. Make it a bit of a home away from home. Make me feel comfortable. And look, I'll see you then. Nothing tonight, lads. I have football, but we will be back Saturday. I'm not sure what I'll be putting out Saturday yet, but I'll be back Saturday. Look, it could be Nuno's in the door. You know, it could be anything. So look, guys, see you Saturday. Stay safe and enjoy your Friday. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up, everybody.
Hey,